Beloved, if you are here reading these words right now, it is not by accident. Somewhere deep within your heart, you have been quietly asking for a sign, a gentle reassurance that you are not lost, that the path you are walking still holds meaning. Perhaps you have been carrying questions you don't always speak out loud, wondering if you are doing enough, if you are becoming who you are meant to be, or if you have somehow fallen behind. But let this moment meet you with calm truth. The very fact that you are searching, that you are reflecting, that you are still open, is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of awareness. It is a sign that your soul is still aligned with something deeper. Doubt is not your enemy. It does not mean you are failing. In fact, it often appears in the lives of those who care the most, those who want their lives to matter, to be real, to be guided by purpose rather than noise. The questions you carry are not here to break you, but to gently guide you, to invite you into greater clarity, patience, and trust. And this message, right here, is not random. It is a quiet reminder meant for you to pause, to breathe, and to remember that you are not alone in what you are feeling. You are being guided, even in ways you cannot yet fully see. Take a moment to truly recognize how far you have come, not just in the visible ways that others might notice, but in the quiet, unseen growth within you. There have been moments when you chose patience instead of reaction, understanding instead of judgment, and perseverance instead of giving up. These changes may not always feel dramatic, but they are powerful. You have evolved emotionally, learning to hold space for your feelings instead of being overwhelmed by them. You have grown mentally, gaining awareness, questioning old patterns, and seeking deeper truth. And spiritually, you have been stretching in ways that required faith, even when clarity was nowhere in sight. It is easy to overlook this kind of progress, because it does not always come with applause or recognition. You may still focus on what you have not achieved yet, or where you think you should be by now. But growth is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, and deeply personal. The fact that you are still here, still reflecting, still choosing to move forward despite uncertainty, that is strength, that is resilience. There were days when things felt heavy, when you questioned everything, when continuing felt harder than stopping. And yet, you continued. You learned, you adapted, you healed in small ways that others may never fully understand. Even now, as you read this, you are still engaging with your journey instead of turning away from it. That matters more than you realize. You are not the same person you once were, and that is something to honor. Every experience, every challenge, every moment of doubt has shaped you into someone more aware, more grounded, and more capable of living with intention. You may not feel finished, but you are not meant to be. You are in the middle of becoming. And the fact that you are still showing up for your life, still willing to grow, is already a quiet, undeniable proof that you are doing better than you think. It is easy, in a world that constantly measures success through results, recognition, and comparison, to begin believing that your worth is something you must earn. You may have been taught, directly or indirectly, that you need to achieve more, do more, or become more in order to be enough. But let this truth settle gently within you. Your life is not a performance, and you were never meant to live as if you are constantly being evaluated. You are not here to meet every expectation placed upon you, nor to shape yourself into someone else's idea of success. There is a quiet freedom in realizing that you do not have to prove your value. You do not have to constantly justify your existence through productivity or perfection. The pressure to appear flawless, to have everything figured out, or to always be moving forward can be exhausting. And yet, so much of that pressure comes from outside voices, from standards that were never truly yours to carry. When you begin to release those expectations, even slowly, you create space to reconnect with who you really are beneath them. Your authenticity holds far more power than any image of perfection ever could. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you show up in your own unique way. These are not things to hide or reshape to fit in. They are the very things that give your life meaning. Being real, being honest with yourself, and allowing yourself to exist without constant self-judgment is not weakness. It is courage. It is alignment. You may still have moments where you question your worth, where you feel like you are not doing enough or not becoming fast enough. But those thoughts do not define your value. They simply reflect how deeply you care about living a meaningful life. And that in itself is something to honor, not criticize. You were never meant to become perfect. You were meant to become true to your path, your pace, and your purpose. When you stop measuring yourself against impossible standards and begin accepting yourself as you are, something shifts. You begin to live with more ease, more clarity, and more peace. Because the truth has always been there, quietly waiting for you to believe it. You are already enough, not because of what you achieve, but simply because you exist. In a world that often celebrates loud achievements and visible success, it can be easy to overlook the quiet ways your life makes a difference. You may think that what you do is too small to matter, that your presence goes unnoticed, or that your impact is insignificant because it is not widely recognized. But the truth is far more profound than that. Some of the most meaningful influences in this world are not loud or attention-grabbing. They are quiet, steady, and deeply human. Think about the moments that have touched you the most. Often, they are not grand gestures, but simple acts, a kind word spoken at the right time, someone who truly listened without judgment, or a gentle presence that made you feel seen when you needed it most. These moments stay with us, sometimes far longer than anything impressive or extraordinary, and in the same way, the small things you do carry more weight than you realize. Your kindness, your patience, your willingness to show up with sincerity, these are not small things, they are powerful. You do not need to change the whole world in one dramatic act to have meaning. The way you treat people, the energy you bring into a room, the quiet support you offer, all of it, creates ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Not every impact needs to be visible to be real. In fact, some of the deepest changes happen silently, in hearts you may never fully know, and that is enough. Because a life lived with kindness, honesty, and presence is already a life that matters in ways that cannot always be measured, but are always felt. There are moments in life when everything feels unclear, when the path ahead seems blurred and uncertain. You may find yourself standing in between what was and what will be, unsure of which direction to take or whether you are making the right choices. In those moments, it is easy to feel anxious, as if you are falling behind or missing something important. But the truth is, you were never meant to have every answer all at once. Life does not unfold according to a strict timeline, and your journey is not something that can be rushed into clarity. Not knowing is not a failure. It is a natural and necessary part of growth. Some of the most meaningful transformations happen quietly, beneath the surface, long before they become visible. Just because you cannot yet see the full picture does not mean that nothing is happening. It simply means that you are in a phase where things are still forming, still aligning in ways you may not yet understand. There is a quiet wisdom in allowing yourself to be where you are without forcing certainty. You do not need to pressure yourself into immediate clarity or perfect decisions. Sometimes, the next step only becomes clear after you take the one in front of you. And sometimes, growth asks you to pause, to wait, and to trust, even when there is no obvious direction. Your path is unfolding in its own time, not late, not early, but exactly as it needs to. The clarity you are seeking will come, not all at once, but gradually, through experience, patience, and trust. So, allow yourself to breathe. You are not lost, you are simply in the middle of becoming. There is a quiet exhaustion that comes from constantly feeling like you have to prove your worth to yourself, to others, or even to an invisible standard you carry within. You may have grown used to always pushing forward, always trying to do more, be more, and give more, believing that slowing down means falling behind. But what if rest is not a setback? What if it is part of the path itself? Rest is not weakness, it is not laziness, and it is certainly not failure. It is a necessary space where your mind can settle, your heart can soften, and your spirit can recover. You were never meant to carry everything without pause. The pressure to constantly perform, to always be productive, can slowly drain your energy and disconnect you from yourself. But when you allow yourself to stop, even for a moment, something begins to shift. You do not have to earn your right to rest. You do not need to reach a certain level of success before you are allowed to breathe. Your value is not measured by how much you accomplish in a day or how much you can endure without breaking. It exists beyond all of that. Peace often arrives in the moments when you let go of the need to control everything. When you release the weight of expectation and simply allow yourself to be, without judgment or pressure, you begin to reconnect with a deeper sense of calm. So give yourself permission to slow down, not because you have given up, but because you are learning to trust that life can continue even when you pause. There are moments when the weight of your struggles feels overwhelming, when challenges seem to come one after another, leaving you questioning why things have to be this difficult. In those times, it is natural to wish that the pain could simply disappear, that life could be made only of ease and certainty. But consider this: on their own, salt or pepper can taste too sharp, too intense, even unpleasant. No one would choose to consume them by themselves. Yet when they are blended into a meal, they enhance every other flavor, bringing depth, richness, and balance to something that would otherwise feel incomplete. Life works in much the same way. The difficulties you face are not meant to stand alone or define your entire story. They are part of a greater whole, one that also includes joy, connection, growth, and love. Without contrast, without those challenging moments, it would be difficult to fully appreciate the beauty and meaning of the lighter ones. The struggles you encounter, as uncomfortable as they may be, are shaping your perspective, strengthening your resilience, and deepening your understanding of yourself and others. It may not always be possible to see this while you are in the middle of hardship. Pain can narrow your view, making it hard to believe that anything good could come from it. But over time, as you continue forward, you may begin to notice how even the most difficult experiences have contributed to who you are becoming. Nothing you have gone through is wasted. Every challenge has added a layer to your story, refining you in ways that ease alone never could. When you begin to see your struggles not as isolated burdens, but as part of a meaningful journey, something shifts within you. You no longer fight against your experiences as much. Instead, you start to move with them, trusting that even the hardest moments are working in quiet ways to prepare you for what lies ahead. As you come to the end of this message, take a quiet moment to look back on your journey, not with judgment, but with gentle awareness. Think of everything you have walked through, every challenge that shaped you, every small step that brought you here. You may not have noticed it along the way, but there has been growth in you, steady and real, and that alone is something to be grateful for. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to be perfect or certain about every step ahead. Life is not asking that of you. It is only asking that you continue to keep showing up, to keep trusting, and to keep moving forward in your own way, at your own pace. There is still more ahead for you, more to learn, more to experience, and more peace to discover along the way. So let this be a gentle reminder that you are not alone and you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. If this message brought you even a small sense of calm or reassurance, allow yourself to receive that. And if it resonates with your heart, you may simply whisper, Amen, not as an obligation, but as a quiet agreement with truth, trust and the journey you are on.